Hello and welcome to LTWS Backstage Chronicles, where we take you behind the scenes of the Little Theater of Winston-Salem. I'm your host, Jessica Perry, and we're excited to bring you an inside look at the incredible people, productions, and creative process that make our shows come to life. In this episode, we'll be diving into Little Shop of Horrors, one of the most iconic and beloved musicals, and hearing from the amazing people bringing it to the stage. Today, we are joined by our director, Chad Edwards, Nathan Sebens, who plays Seymour, Ralph Shaw, who's the voice of Audrey II, and Martha Merritt, who plays Audrey. Whether you're a theater enthusiast, a longtime Little Theater supporter, or just curious about what happens behind the curtains, you're in the right place. Before we get started, I just wanted to give a special thank you to D.A. Davison Wealth Management for sponsoring this production of Little Shop of Horrors, and a special shout out to Such and Such Media, our 90th season media sponsors. Do not forget to subscribe to LTWS Backstage Chronicles. It can be found on all major podcast platforms so that you'll never miss an episode. And if you enjoyed today's show, please be sure to leave us a review. We love hearing from you. Now, let's dive in. I'm going to start by introducing our fabulous, fantastic director, Chad Edwards, who's making lots of faces at me right now.
You say way too much about me. That's okay.
And we have to Chad's left, we have Nathan Sebens.
Hi. Thanks for having us here today, Jessica.
And then closely beside him is Ralph Shaw.
Feed me.
And then we have Martha Merritt.
Hi. I don't know what you want me to say.
Just hello.
Hey.
Just a friendly voice. That's all. How's everyone doing today?
Wonderful.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Old
doing
and
great.
cranky.
Oh, Audrey II.
That's usually Ralph anyway.
Yeah.
He's got it down.
He knows me well.
Typecasting.
So, how excited are we for this production?
You've really excited.
I've been
excited.
excited since before auditions, and then even doubly excited after auditions, and have just grown more and more excited as it just gets closer and closer to the date.
It's been like people were telling me before auditions, they were like, it's going to be so fun. I can't wait. And I want to be a fly on the wall in auditions. And oh my gosh, it's going to be a bloodbath. And, I kind of take that with a grain of salt. And we had a great turnout, made casting decisions really difficult. But man, did I do well. Because, fill me in a room. Fill me in a room. Oh, that's a thing. We'll start a phrase there. Have me in a room with a bunch of really talented people who are also very nice, and I am one happy man, and that has happened it has just really been great.
It does seem, not saying you're a cranky person, but it does seem that you have had a little pep in your step while working on this production. I see you smiling all the time,
I do. I have to pinch myself every time we're in the room. Every time they are very professional. They know what they're doing. If you give them a note, except for Ralph, they know what they're doing and they take notes very, very well. And I don't have to give them a note again. And man, for me, it's easy.
It's nice seeing that. I love seeing people just so happy to be doing what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that energy is infectious. There we
Yeah,
go.
I'm catching right now. I'm right next to you. I'm just saying things wrong.
So, what drew you to wanting to direct Little Shop of Horrors?
Oh my gosh, somebody asked me. No, I'm just kidding. Well, kind of. But I've directed it before. I teach high school theater, and when I was teaching over at Mount Tabor High School, we did it in 2016. We did it with a larger cast. Me and the movie go way back, and I can go on that little tangent. But I've always had a soft spot in my heart for this show. The music is just absolutely fantastic. There are times when I'm doing a musical where I will catch myself just humming the music or whatever, and sometimes I'll be like, gosh, get that out of my head. I really don't want that in my head. But this is just super easy. Tunes will stay with me the whole day, and it'll be a different tune every day.
It has that
so-
earworm music.
Oh my gosh, is it
So
such
good.
is it such wonderful music? But the play in itself is not your usual fare. It's not your usual musical theater fare. So there's something a little different to it. There's something a little campy to it, and there's a lot of humor in it, which is right down my alley. So I love working on projects like that are a little different, that are not the norm.
That's wonderful. I want to keep this more conversational, but I'm going to do a roundabout real quick because I just want to know. So, Nathan, like, what does doing this production mean to you?
Yeah, great question. I think most actors have a list of dream roles, and Seymour has been at the top of mine for literally 20 years. This is the fourth time I've auditioned for this show, and my first opportunity to get to play this role. And it really feels like dreams come true. And to get to do it with this incredible cast, with our amazing director and our stage manager, all the way to Daisy, who does the costumes, and Tab, who's building an incredible set for us. I'm glad it took 20 years because it meant I got to do it with this crew.
Yeah, sometimes things happen at the time that they're supposed to happen.
That's right. That's right.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm just surprised. I'm just surprised that it has taken him like 4 tries. I would have cast him the first time.
Right?
Yeah.
No, I have no dog in the race, but as soon as we
Right.
were doing this, I immediately saw Nathan in that part. I'm like, it's
Yeah.
gotta be, right?
He didn't look old enough the first 3 times. That's
There you go.
Oh, that's fun. So, Ralph, what does doing this production mean to you? Have you done this production before?
Yes,
Oh.
3 times before. I mean, 2 times before, but the second time I'm getting to play Audrey.
Oh. So, what does it mean to get to do this production with this group of people?
Memories like the corners of my mind.
Is it bringing up memories of past productions? And do you like remember moments with previous
when
cast members?
I moved back to Greensboro in '95, and it was the second show I did the summer of '95 with Livestock. So,
Oh, wow. So that's fun.
but I was the wino and a DJ and something else, I think.
So, Martha, what about you? What does this production mean to you?
Well, I've actually been in love with the 80s movie since I was little. It's my parents' favorite movie. And back when minivans had the drop-down TVs and you would pop in a DVD, that was like my dad's road trip movie of choice because he had the whole thing memorized. I mean, lyrics, dialogue, everything. And so he's like, well, I can drive and just hear it in the background because I can picture what's happening. So I've always, I grew up listening to my parents sing it, and my brothers and I would all sing in the car. So it's very nostalgic for me. And I've never really been the age where I could audition for Audrey. So I finally was able to and saw that it came around and just got really lucky that it was just the right place in the right time. So
I'm so excited that you're in this show. So, are your family, they're going to come see the show? Are they super excited?
I think my mom has literally bought 30 tickets, and she's just passing them out to people on the street. My daughter's in this. So yeah, and when I told my dad that I got cast, he started crying. He's like, I can't wait to see it over and over again. So I think they're going to be at each weekend, which is maybe a little excessive, but
And we'll
they're
talk
proud.
about bringing up memories too. I imagine him coming to see the show will bring up road trip memories. And
Yeah,
stuff. Aw,
they're
that's
excited.
so sweet.
I tried to get him to audition, but he said no. But maybe next time.
So, what's the rehearsal process been like? What's it been like getting to work together and bring this to life?
I think it's for me, it's a pleasure being in the room, and because they bring so much to the table, and I like to be a collaborative director. So they always bring ideas. Sometimes Ralph brings too many ideas, and he's like, "Well, I did it this way early before," and I'm like, "No, we're not doing that." But no. They bring great ideas. They bring great energy, and we are. We're. I don't want to, knock on wood, but we are really in a good place right now, performance-wise. It's going to be adding the plant and all the technical elements that are going to be really the tough, gritty stuff for us. But we're in a great place to deal with that when it comes up. So I have been just, I've tried to be efficient. I've tried to be, tried to be collaborative, and it's worked. And sometimes I'm just like, what did I do to deserve this? And I keep telling Kevin, our stage manager, who's amazing, by the way, plug for Kevin Hampton.
Yes.
I keep telling him, I was like, somebody's got to pinch me. It's like this is one of the most fun processes I've had in a long, long, long time. So.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Yeah.
So I don't know if any of you guys know this, but this is the first collaboration between Howard Ashman and Alan Menken. I'm sure you've heard in some respects, about their future works that they do later on after this together.
There's an interesting documentary that I watched actually a couple days ago called Howard, and it's based on,
It's on
Howard
Disney Plus,
Ashman
right?
is on Disney Plus.
Yes.
It was recommended to me by Dan Dodson, our wonderful musical
Incredible,
director.
yeah.
Yes, oh my gosh, they sound amazing.
Isn't he Broadway World Award-winning musical director?
Maybe.
We're not-
Yes. Yes.
Probably so.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I would assume so.
Yeah.
I mean, that wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, and watching how Little Shop developed and everything, it was really, really neat to see that was their first collaboration and how it developed on Broadway from this 73-minute movie that was done, I think it was done in 2 days. It
Yeah.
was shot in 2 days. And
On
it
somebody
was
else's
so
set.
low budget. Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody else's set. And it was just, if you have time, it's on Amazon Prime. Jack Nicholson got his claim to fame, I think, with that, or that's one of the lesser known roles. But I mean, it's where he got his, his big break. But he's fantastically sadistic in that, which fits Jack Nicholson very perfectly. So it's this lovely little thing, and then it just kind of blossomed. And I was interested to see how Ashman worked and his lyrical process, and to gain a little bit of insight into that show. So that's fascinating. Please check it out on Disney Plus. I'm not plugging them or Amazon Prime. I feel like I'm doing a lot of talking
free
here. But,
Not a sponsor.
yes. No.
But they can be if they want to.
Yes. There you go. But it was really, really fascinating. And I always like getting a little bit of insight as I'm working on stuff. It's really, really cool.
So has there been any fun moments or fun stories or anything funny that's happened in rehearsals that you can share?
I think there have been lots of funny things, which I guess is what we hope for, since that they're, I would call it a comedy, I think, overall. Yeah. But one of the things that, or one of the groups of people that constantly crack me up and are just like blowing their roles out of the water are the trio, who function sort of as the Greek chorus for the show. They really are narrating the show and driving the action, and the three of them are just amazing. And not only are they incredible singers, but they're also really funny, and the way that they've built chemistry with each other has been just fun to watch.
Yes. So if you came to see the Little Shop moving screening that we did recently, you would have had an opportunity to get to see them perform the title number of the song, and they were just fabulous. Just really exciting. I can't wait to see this show. I'm going to come to like almost every performance, and I don't have to, but I'm going to. I just want to see it so many times.
You can sit with my mom. She'll be at every single one too.
Yes. Get very close and personal.
Yeah, and the thing about watching their performance on Sunday, I was like, well, this is going to be so much better. I mean, it was really, really good. I mean,
Right.
don't
Yes,
get me
but you
wrong.
still have
They
all
were
those
amazing, but you have all the environment to set it in, and then everything else. And I just, I'm a little giddy thinking about all the stuff that we're going to add, and that hopefully audiences are going to really, really, really love.
So has there been any particular challenges in finding your character or your roles in working together? So Ralph, I know that you and Nathan have worked together before.
Yes.
Martha, this is your first time being in a little theater production.
Yeah. It's my first time with a lead role as well. So I've been putting a lot of pressure on myself, I think, because it's a role I care about a lot. And I've also rarely ever been cast in a weak isn't the right word, but like maybe dainty, and very like stereotypically feminine role. Like I'm normally a queen or like somebody who has like a deep booming voice. So I've gotten direction multiple times being like, hey, this is a little bold here, or like you're being a little assertive here, which is great because that's kind of naturally how I am and naturally the roles that I've been casted in. So it's been fun because I've gotten to discover some new things and try things I've not really had the opportunity to do before. But I think having to kind of get in that mindset of being a little less assertive has been like a lot trickier than I thought. Yeah, more demure and cutesy. It's been a lot trickier than I thought it would be. It's been fun, but it's been a challenge.
And
Yes.
she's
Yeah.
so good, y'all. You gotta come
really
see her
is.
performance of
y'all.
Audrey.
And
So
Making me
is
blush. Yeah, Nathan's incredible. If
their
we're going to go there.
Oh, their chemistry is off the charts on the stage. It's just like they bounce off of each other perfectly. And you saying that you've not had a lead role like this, I could not ever tell.
That's
She
kind.
stepped into this, and it was like, bam! She owned it. She has owned it from day one.
Yeah,
Thank
I thought
you.
she was a ringer. You know.
Yeah.
So what's your background in? Like your experience in theater and
Just like high school theater.
really?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I did a show. My husband directed a show in the spring, and so I costumed that because I have degrees in fashion, and I did a small role in that one. But that's pretty much it. Yeah, and I've been ensemble in 1 or 2 musicals, but that's it.
Wow. I
Yeah.
would not have believed.
Thank you. That's kind.
I've known you for a little while now, from our shared connection with Shared Radiance.
Yeah.
But I had no idea that you had like done performing or anything. So when I saw that you were auditioning, I was like, oh my gosh, I hope she's good. I hope she's good.
That'd be so embarrassing. Really.
It's very good.
And then when you were cast, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I was so excited.
Me too. Same reaction.
So how many times, Ralph, have you and Nathan worked together now? Is this just the second
This will
time?
be the second. Yeah.
So y'all were in Something Rotten together? Mm-hmm. Much different. Well, actually,
Similar
not that
dynamic.
different capacity.
Ralph loves to yell at me on stage.
Oh my gosh.
I don't love it. I just have to do it.
The fact that he has a lot of fun with it is
Right.
completely
Right,
different.
Totally. Side note.
It has been really fun to get to work with him again, though. And
Oh, Bashar.
I feel that way with Ralph and also with Danny, who plays the dentist.
Yeah,
who
he's
is
incredible.
also really bringing it in this show. And it's been fun because we already have a rapport. We already have a connection, so we can experiment a little bit more and know that we're like safe in each other's space in the scene. And that can really allow. And Chad has been so like welcoming of that. Like he said, he's a collaborative director, and it's really true. Like he brings his vision, but he cares about what we think, and he wants us to try out new bits and see. And he'll be like, "Yep," or "Nope," and that's what we need. Is that vision that he has. So it's been a lot of fun.
So each show that happens has its own kind of unique, special chemistry
Yeah,
For sure.
Yes.
comes together. How would you describe the chemistry of this cast, if you could, in one word?
This is 2 words, but I would say no drama. Like,
No drama.
yeah, everybody is just there to vibe.
Yeah.
And hardworking.
Super hardworking.
Okay, so in
Yeah.
2 words.
And a few
There's a
words.
hyphen in hardworking.
Yes. Stellar.
I can imagine you're pinching yourself like every day. I would be. Just a testament to the casting. I mean, it's assembled.
There,
You're Avengers here.
I know there are times where, and I think I told them that. There are times where I just, I'm supposed to be taking notes and supposed to be fixing things, but then I just go, no, I just want to enjoy this for a moment, and I just want to watch because it's that good, and you're like, no, I wouldn't change that, just because I trust them so much right now, which is super scary to me because I haven't worked with a lot of you. But it's also really, really cool because I have so much trust in you that you're going to get things right. And I just keep feeling like I'm super lucky.
Oh, that's wonderful. So personally, I'd only had watched the movie, the one with Rick Moranis and Steve Martin, and when we were getting ready for the production of this show, just hearing a little bit about the design choices and hearing Tab kind of explain some of their choices for Audrey II, and I'm overhearing things and I'm like, wait a minute, what this sound like the ending for the musical is totally different in the movie, and it just completely threw me off, and I was just like, oh my gosh. So those who don't know the musical are going to get quite a surprise when they come to see the show.
If you know the film, it's different.
Yep.
Better.
Yes, I like the ending much, much better. And with the film, they actually shot the ending as it is in the play, and it got such a terrible audience score that they had to go back and reshoot it. And
Wow.
fix another ending that was suitable to an audience's palate. But this was one of the reasons that I love this show, and I'm not going to give away the ending, of course. But yeah, it's it makes sense. It makes sense in the grand scheme, flow, and theme of the show.
Yeah.
It does feel like the live aspect of it it will lend well to the ending, and it'll be this grandness to it. That's how I envision it in my head. I mean, I only have slight words and keywords, so I can't completely fully envision it yet. But I'm so, that's why I'm just so excited to come and see it, because I gotta know what's in my head and what's gonna.
I mean, you're always invited to rehearsals if you want to drop by. So
We kind
Yes.
of practiced the ending yesterday for the first time, and that was a journey, but we'll get there.
Yeah, yeah.
oh yeah, with operating things with the
Yeah,
plant.
just the tech
and-
aspect
Yeah.
and-
That's gonna be the fun challenge of this production, is incorporating all the technical elements and I guess choreography with the puppeteers and things as well. So that'll be fun.
They are the unsung heroes of this
Yeah.
this show. The puppeteers. I can't say I'm not going to say too much about how it's operated, but they have found characters within what they do that is fantastic, and they love it. Sometimes you think, or being an actor, you're like, well, I'm not going to get my face seen on stage or whatever. Some people are like that, some people aren't, and obviously these people aren't, and they dig into it. They're just as dedicated as everybody else, which is so much fun, and they're just playing so much with it. It's really great.
No, that's wonderful. Yeah, because like you mentioned, they're on stage, they are an actor, but they're not being seen. So it's kind of like almost like that blend of actor behind the scenes crew. It's like these unsung heroes that you don't see, and it's good that you don't see them. And they have to be that way. So
Yeah.
definitely, if you come see the show afterwards, give them some praise, because
And they all have great voices.
Oh my
yes.
gosh, yeah.
Every one of them.
this is going to be such a wonderful production.
And speaking of great voices, the other person who we haven't talked about is Carlos, who plays Mr. Mushy.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, and he can
the
sing.
power he brings to that role. I think,
Is fantastic too.
Yes.
It's another one where I've worked on stage with Carlos, but I've not worked as a director actor, and man, he is surpassing my expectations. All of them are, but Carlos is just he finds a different layer to that character that's really nice.
I wish Carlos was here, because there's this fun little story that Kevin had mentioned to me about you and Carlos, and this is your first time getting to cast a show together.
Yes.
Because you previously in the past have kind of always gone up for the same parts.
Yeah. I met Carlos 15 years ago, I think, at auditions, and we both had left and come back, and it's really great to get to actually do a show together and not be competing against each other. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So that's so much fun. There's so many just fun elements about this show. Is there anything you want people to take away from this particular production of Little Shop?
I feel like I'm talking a lot.
You tend to.
Just Well, that is my way.
Ralph is
I am the director. I do talk the most,
You
right?
can always tell when
Thanks,
people
Ralph.
are really, really close.
Yeah.
The meaner they
Because
are.
they're meaner to each other.
Yeah.
I just met him.
Darts fired, Ralph. So we have bonded to be the old people in the group.
So
Although we're
Grumpy
not
Old
old.
Men, the
No.
musical coming sometime?
Oh gosh, maybe we'll have to write that.
Yeah, let's go.
I would see it.
Cheery actors.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Clark Pinion.
That's right.
Ridiculous.
I want people to take the fact that Ralph is not old. That the voice of the plant is ageless, which is true. But no, Ralph is very young in spirit and very playful, and that's super appreciative too. We're all very playful. I just want them to have a great time, enjoy the music, and actually, I want them to have the feeling at the very end to say, "I've got to see this again. I've got to tell my friends, and I'm going to come 2 or 3 times to the show and see it again." That would be the best.
Well, let's do that, guys. Get your tickets. Come see the show. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's already selling really well. So
Awesome.
Get your tickets early so you can get the seats that you want. Is there any last words before we wrap it up today?
Ralph is the wisest.
Oh, yes,
of us,
let's go.
So he's got something brewing.
Give us those iconic words.
Please come to the show so you can feed me.
There you go.
Well, there you have
And I don't
it.
have to anymore.
He's only got so much blood left, guys. Well, that's all for today's episode of LTS Backstage Chronicles. We hope you enjoyed this behind-the-scenes look at the Little Shop of Horrors. A huge thank you to our guests here today. Thank you for sharing your insights and perspectives with us. Really appreciate having you with us. If you like what you heard, don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and share your podcast with your friends. You can find this podcast on all major platforms, and of course, check out our website, www.ltofws.org, so you can get all the updates on upcoming productions and events. Stay tuned for our next episode where we will dive into the bringing to life of Audrey II. You do not want to miss how our creative team brings this iconic man-eating plant to the stage. Special thank you to D.A. Davison Wealth Management for sponsoring this production of Little Shop of Horrors. And, of course, as always, to Such and Such Media, our 90th season media sponsors, for making this podcast possible. Until next time, I'm Jessica Perry. Thank you for joining us here at the Little Theater of Winston-Salem. We'll see you at the theater. The views and opinions of this podcast are those of the contributor and not necessarily those of our distributors and hosting company. This podcast is copyrighted. Use of this podcast without express permission may result in alien blood-sucking plants taking over the world. You have been warned.